I'm Caroline.
And I'm Phil, and hopefully you can hear us, because for a moment then Caroline goes, "It's gone." There was no picture. The screen was black. So hopefully the technical gremlins won't get us tonight. I get totally confused anyway, because I'm over here and it's now saying the preamble is finished and we're over there and we're on, so
it did go
all
black.
confusion.
I can just see now on Phil's, it did go black. We're okay because we're on.
We're on.
If we go, don't panic, because I now know how to fix it.
Sound and video all good. Thank
Brilliant,
you, Red.
thank you.
Thank you.
Right then, let's have a look who we're first in. I'll put my glasses on just to be sure. I don't want to get it wrong. And slide to the top of my chat. And first in was Rachel Bailey. Well done, Rachel. And second place, Bonnie Tyler Fan 34. Well done.
Oh.
And in third place is Laura Sully Creations. Well done, Laura. So we've got our first 3 podium places for tonight, and we've got a lot more podium places coming up without questions.
Indeed, we have. And I did notice as the comments were going past, I think it was Meryl mentioned, I love this song. I think it's called Morning Mandolin, but it's not on Spotify.
No.
Don't know if it's on Spotify, but it's definitely on YouTube.
It is, yes. Actually,
Definitely
somebody
on
has
YouTube.
taken this and they get loads of money now on all their advertising. When I tell you, they got like an hour-long version of Morning Mandolin. So
Yeah.
you can put that on, it'll keep repeating until you never want to hear the song again. So
Indeed.
just a little bit of a warning, probably best not to listen to it for an hour at a time, because you won't feel well afterwards.
But we found it on the free library.
Yeah, there's a YouTube library. When you're making videos, you can use their music, and you're never going to get done for copyright or anything. So we use those.
That was
and
one
we love
of
that
the
one.
pieces, and it's become virtually our theme tune, but it is used by others.
It's really weird. Sometimes I'm watching a crafting video and they're playing Morning Mandolin. I'm like, you can't do that. That's a mid-larking song. Right, so where are we going to start? Because we're not sure which way we're going to start today. We're going to start with a find?
Can do.
Go on then, let's start with a find.
Do you want to show a find or shall I show a
find?
I don't mind.
Oh, you've got my leg. Okay, then I'll show a find. I will show this. You may remember this from the video. We had a Victorian house with like bay window on the front, and once you walked in through the front door, all the hallway was done with these tiles with like squares and triangles and diamonds in the middle in like a terracotta or red really and black. So that reminds me of a couple of houses ago when we had an old Victorian house.
Indeed.
We definitely haven't got an old Victorian house now. It's quite modern.
No, I remember this house being built.
Yes, when Phil were a lad.
When I was a boy, me and my friend, who lived just down there, back in the day, no longer. He's served in the diplomatic service and recently retired to West Wales, but he used to live on what was the last house before the field. And I used to call up to my mates and we used to play on the field, and then they started to build this row of houses on the edge of the field towards the road. So this was all grass embankment, and we used to climb up into the foundations of these houses. And although my friend lived just in this street, I lived on the local council estate up above. And little did I imagine back then that I would ever live in one of the houses that was being built at the time.
Showing a tile from a previous house.
Indeed.
I just done something to the sound because apparently we were a little echoey. So is that any better now? If you can let me know, I think I've sorted it. Ooh, by the time I'm 100, I'll know how to use this system. Ooh. Right, so that was my find. Have you got a find? Oh no, I've seen my leg. I could have showed my leg. You'll have to wait for my leg now.
Was that on this video?
I'm just going for what you gave me. Which was what on of it? Just a little.
I don't know.
Chat amongst yourselves.
I get told.
Grab a snack. You
said you've got my leg.
Yes, which is over here.
Yeah, so I haven't got my leg. It's over there.
Yes, that's what I just said.
So I thought, is there another leg?
That's what I just said. Oh, I have got my leg.
Right, because you said you've got my leg.
You can't see my leg until the next thing I show.
I have not got your leg, because I know any legs that belong in this show are on your side.
Yes.
The only legs I have are my legs, and I need those. So there.
You don't. You're sitting down.
Now, do you want to be really well behaved? Because I've got a question linked to a ceramic tile. So we could do a question at 9:05, which is unheard of.
It is. Here we go.
And we're back. Ceramic glazed tiles appear all over the world and have been used for a very long time to decorate all sorts of things, from palaces to public lavatories.
Palaces to public lavatories. We're getting a bit of alliteration going here
I
too.
tell you.
So exciting.
I was in Toastmaster mood when I wrote these the other day. Because I've seen some rather posh tiles in public lavatories as well as in palaces. But here is the question tonight. Where was the earliest recorded example of decorative ceramic tiles found?
Where?
And I don't mean in a palace or a toilet.
No. You mean the country?
Was it in A, Iran, B, Egypt, or C, China?
Go. I think. Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I know what I'm going for.
No. I caught you out.
It was my third choice.
I've caught
actually
you
the
out.
winner.
I've caught you out. There we go. Let's see what everyone else does then. See if I catch anybody
Why are you
else
looking
out.
at Peggy? I think it was. Said, how's your hand, Caroline? Oh, still pretty much the same. I've got to rest it now. I've been resting it for nearly a week.
Supposed to rest it for 2 weeks.
I've got to rest it for 2 weeks. If not, then I'm getting an injection in it. And if that doesn't work, then they're going to operate on me. So, don't fancy that. So I'm really trying to be good. It's killing me. I'm not very good at sitting down and doing nothing with my hands. I'm always sewing or, I don't know, making something. I'll do a bit of weaving, that sort of thing. I can't do anything, really. So it's very frustrating. This frustration is worse than any pain or irritation with it. But that's just me, because I'm a very impatient person. Right, do we have a winner?
We do. We have a winner, we have a runner-up,
Oh,
and we have
a
a
third
third
place?
place.
Oh, well done. We don't always.
And if my calculations are right, a very close fourth.
Right.
Right. So, folks, it would look, scanning down, I would say that possibly the favourite answer is Iran. And that's wrong.
I said it wrong. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
And I would say there might be an even split then between China and Egypt.
I thought, no, you probably put China in because you always put China in.
Well, China, in fairness to China, they are pretty good at being first at most things. But that's why I'm very careful to quote my source accurately and said the oldest recorded incident of tiles, which are still in place, of course. That's a tricky thing. You can tile a wall, and you can do a lovely job of it, but it doesn't mean it's still going to be there 1,000 years later, because they don't necessarily last that long. But these did last that long, and there's a very good reason for that. And that's because they're inside a pyramid in Egypt. And that's why, and that's where they can date it, you see, because they will know when that king died, that pharaoh died or whatever, and they will have so much to date it by. And I believe the date was 2,668 years BC. So we're 4,500 years ago, and because they're in the tomb, they were still doing the job they were there to do, which was to decorate it. They're in the entrance hall and the entranceway and the great hall of this tomb. It's a stepped pyramid in Egypt. So there we go. So we're looking for either Egypt, for those who like to write things out in full, like Ed, but he wrote Iran, so that don't count. And wow, straight out of the blocks tonight and hitting the top spot again, Rachel Bailey.
Oh, well done, Rachel.
Wow, West Country Mudlarks coming in silver.
Well done, West Country Mudlarks.
And then an awful lot of people agreeing with you and Ed. Until, in fact, I go 1, 2, 3. I got 5 in a row agreeing with Ed, and all being wrong. But then we come to. Well, I deliberately put it in because people think of Persia, and that was a place for highly decorative places.
And regs
and they have got an awful lot of tile things from the Islamic period, but that was later than the pharaohs. So, see, because the Islamic period started after AD, because obviously Islam didn't exist before Christianity. Okay, so it's going to be third place. It was a close run, but Laura Sully's creation took it.
Well done, Laura.
And the reason I said there was a fight for it was because Ribble Fines and Craft were right there behind her.
Nearly there, Steve. Nearly
Which,
there.
in the world of IT, could be just a nanosecond between them. But there we go.
Right, on the chat now, I got Peggy says cortisone helps my knees. Has anybody ever had trigger finger or trigger thumb? I've heard of trigger finger. I'd never heard of trigger thumb. It's a silly name, isn't it? Has anybody ever had injections for this? And if so, did it work for you?
Because that's
I'd
a
love to know.
possibility. One of the problems for Caroline is she can't use the rubby cream in it. That's brilliant stuff. But that mixes with other medications. You can't use it. Otherwise, because you used to use that, didn't you, on your knees and everything. It was brilliant. Right there.
Now, is my chat frozen or is that
No.
the last
Cortisone
comment?
out
No,
for
we're
the
okay.
knees. No, that's where
No,
we're
we're
at.
okay,
Yeah.
that's the last one. Everybody's gone quiet. Are you all eating your snacks? Come on, let me know what snacks you're having. Make me jealous. Phew.
Right, so to have a quick rundown on those winners, it was Rachel, followed by West Country Mudlarks, and Laura Sully's Creations. That was
It's
the first
very
3 Bs.
strangely quiet in the chat. I'm wondering if we've lost contact with the chat or whether people have all gone quiet.
Oh, they've just gone
Maybe
quiet.
they've all gone
They're
quiet.
mesmerised.
They've all fallen asleep because we're so quiet and calm and soporific.
Yeah. Because you
I
can't.
don't think we've ever been
The
described as
chances
that.
of us both losing the chat would be pretty slim. And we'll find out when we do.
Ah,
the
there we
next
go.
thing.
There we go. Somebody's commented.
Snacking on Imperial Mints.
Oh, there you
well,
go. That
Caroline
wouldn't suit me.
Caroline
No.
won't want to
Don't like
envy you
mints.
for those. I can assure you. Right then, shall I show a find?
Yes, you go show fine. Let's put my glasses on. Rachel Bailey is having English strawberries. West Country Mudlarks. Oh, Louise had the injection, didn't work, had the operation, and that works. Oh, thank you. That's brilliant. Oh, I'm glad Louise is back fully up and running. Good news from that. Meryl has a passion fruit gin. Ooh, that sounds very exotic. Oh, Lexi, you like us, no snacks. And Phyllis is a lazy chatter here in her shady porch. You are here, Phyllis. You're just having a rest. Oh, Phyllis's porch pictures are lovely. She's got a fabulous porch.
Right, I will show you my little find. Now, you may not recognise this from the video because when Caroline picked it up, it was in pieces. And she said, I'm going to give this to Phil to pop down the shed so we can see what it looks like when it's put back together. So there it is. As you can see, where the handle was, there's a break in the back. That piece is long gone because you can see the darkness. The other breaks were quite clear. But you can see on there, I believe, that it's been an old break, that one. But there we go. Quite a cute, tiny little jug. I don't know what you'd have put in it. You wouldn't have had much cream in there, would you?
And do you know, I wondered if maybe it was an oil lamp.
Don't know.
A little oil lamp.
Yeah,
and you
it
put
could
the
be.
wick
Put the wick coming out the end.
What do you reckon? Do you think that could have been a little really old oil lamp? I think it possibly is. Just a guess there.
But there we go.
Very
One
pretty.
find that didn't show up on the thing such as that because it hadn't been gorilla glued by me. But there we go. We thought we would put it together and we'd bring it to show you this evening.
Right, I have to go and sulk now because Laura is having Ben and Jerry's cookie dough ice cream, my favourite ice cream in the world. Oh, I love that.
You also like the birthday cake one, don't you?
No, I'll eat it, but it's not
Oh.
as... No, it's okay. The cake tastes a bit stale in it. I prefer
Oh,
cookie dough.
no, a cheesecake. Not
Cheesecake's
birthday cake.
nice,
No,
yeah.
strawberry
Still
cheesecake.
not my favourite though. His favourite is definitely cookie dough. And there are. Nikki Ramsey thought it was an oil lamp as well.
Doll's furniture even.
Yeah, I
somebody's
wondered if
saying,
a doll's teapot, yeah.
Doll's tea set.
A milk set, yeah. Milk jug from a set.
Could be a child set. Wait, rather than a doll's, that size perhaps a child set. No, you used to get those
It's
little
just,
sets.
this is so, I don't know, petite. I wonder if maybe it was done for a little wick to hang on rather than, would that work?
The other thing that's strange, I don't know. I might be talking rubbish because I speak.
We usually are.
I speak fluent rubbish. I have been practicing for years. But in my imagination, children's sets and that tend to be more brightly coloured. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's a lovely colour and lots of crazing on it.
Let's have a
but
look at the bottom.
it's
I don't think I ever looked at the bottom.
There's nothing on the bottom as such. There's no
I'm just
markings.
looking for the depth because quite often, if it was this age and it was like a Japanese lamp or something, this indentation here, the lip then, rim, whatever you call it, will be much deeper. this is virtually flesh, so I don't know. It could be either.
Somebody's cutting up shirts.
Cutting up shirts? Who's cutting up shirts?
Yeah. And Rita, I don't have snacks. I'm cutting tiny X's from old shirts.
Oh, lovely. Doing a bit of patchwork, I assume.
There you go.
And, Lexi had a cornetto earlier. Tasted like vinegar. Ooh. Lexi, I hate to break this to you. You sure it was a cornetto? Unless they're doing salt and vinegar flavour now.
Perhaps it was vinegar flavoured, you know. They do have bacon flavour. Was it salty, smoky bacon flavoured ice cream that one Blumenthal or somebody did? You never know. Perhaps they're now doing vinegar flavoured cornettos.
Oh, and Faraway Portal said, trigger finger is your finger stuck. In the States, they give you steroid injection to help. It's what it is if you... I'll give you... Here we go. This is what I understand from what my physio told me. Is that what I've got, the thumb joint, my top thumb joint, it goes clunk, clunk, it really clunks badly.
And in the morning, you have to literally pull it and move it over, don't it?
So... But the problem isn't coming from there, it's overuse of the joint here. And this is like a little, he described it as like there's a fishing rod with little attachments here for the fishing line to run through, which is your ligaments. And because it's inflamed down here, it can't run smoothly, and that's what the clunking is. So they're going to give me a course of injection to shrink whatever it is swollen. If that doesn't work, then they'll make the hole bigger for the nerve to come through, or the little line to come through or something. So that's a very rough and probably terrible description of what goes on with
I think with the cortisone injections, it tends to be hit and miss, doesn't it? Because they work brilliantly for some people.
Well, I had one in my knee, and it was marvellous. 48 hours later, and I haven't had one for a couple of years now. It just hasn't bothered me.
I had one in my shoulder and didn't do any good at all.
No. Phil was in just the same state. So it works for some, not for others.
You could tell I was in agony because up until then, I can't remember when I'd had an injection. And I was like 50 when I had that done. And I can't remember injections since I was a child because I am not very keen on needles. Is I? No. But I had it done in my shoulder because I had a frozen shoulder. I couldn't get my arm up past here. But it just took weeks and weeks of exercise to get it moving. It didn't work. But some things it works on, some things it don't. Some people it works on. And to that end, if you're in agony, I suppose you give it a go because it could make a difference.
Yep.
There we go. Lots of people talking medical things.
Phyllis is saying sounds like having carpal tunnel repaired. Yeah, because there's a little... Because I've got carpal tunnel syndrome as well. I wonder if you get enough syndromes, they'll give you a free A level. But it's just there's a little hole for a nerve to pass through, and in carpal tunnel, the hole isn't big enough for the nerve, so they scrape some bone away. And then you don't get the pressure on the nerve.
Because you got that as well.
Yeah, but I'm not having the operation for that. I'll survive that. I just ignore the pins and needles. I'm not that brave.
West Country Mudlarks on top form. Lexi, it will be just one cornetto then.
Oh.
Somebody had to come up with the line from the song at some point, didn't they?
Oh, bye, Silent Forgotten.
Bye. I have to run.
Right. Okie dokie. Let's have another question. Do we have a find for the next question?
No, I can do a question without a find. I can do that.
Freestyle question coming up.
I can. Oops.
There we go.
We disappeared
the
again.
The gremlins are trying, but I'm winning at the moment.
Okay. Now, this is something that we found, but we didn't bring back with us. And there's a very good reason why we didn't bring it back with us, and that is it's illegal. Aha. Oh, now what did we find that bringing back with us would have been illegal? I will tell you, knotweed. And we found lots of it.
Well, you can bring it back because you can't plant it.
If they saw you picking up knotweed and carrying it around the place, they wouldn't want you to. They mustn't move it.
But the illegal thing is you mustn't plant it
anyway. So I can now ask you a knotweed related question.
It's not about weeds.
No,
knotweed.
It's not. It's a
knotweed question.
It's not knotweed. It's not knotweed. Every Japanese knotweed plant in the UK derives
from
one single plant which was introduced by Philip von Siebold.
It's all his fault.
In 1850.
You Phillips are nothing but a nuisance.
I think they should arrest him. Other than the fact he's probably not around. And back then, people queued to buy them after he displayed his Japanese wouldn't have been called knotweed.
No.
Is
it might have been.
exotic Japanese plant.
Right.
Where? Where did he display it that caused a stir and all the great and the good wanted them in their garden? Was it at A, Kew Gardens, B, Crystal Palace, or C, Chelsea Flower Show?
Go! Right. I'm going to go for... I know what I'm going to go for. Where's it gone?
It's up there and I haven't remembered to put it in
Oh, so I
bold.
can't see which one it is. So,
I know, but I know which
so you
one it
point to
is.
which one it is and then
I
I'll
know
know if
which
I'm
one
right
it
or
is.
wrong.
I know which one it is.
I was wrong. I knew it wasn't one of them. Well, I guessed it wasn't one of them. I wasn't sure. The answers are coming in now
wow,
anyway,
yeah, they
so I'll
are.
tell you my thinking was it's such a big plant, it was unlikely to be displayed at Chelsea Flower Show. But then again, I was thinking of the flower tents. He probably would have put it in a garden display, wouldn't he? So there he might have. But that's not the right answer.
Right.
But what is the right answer?
We have got correct answers and we've got wrong answers. Now, I can also tell you, my dearest,
My dearest.
that another reason why they wouldn't have displayed it in the Chelsea Flower Show is it was 1850 and they opened the first Chelsea Flower Show in 1913.
Oh, yes, I knew that as well. Oh, yes, yes.
So it would have been 63 years before there was a flower show.
Yes, exactly.
But whereas he brought it back in 1850 and the Great Exhibition was held in 1851 in Crystal Palace. So if you put that, you're still wrong because
That was me.
that was the year after. He did it a year earlier, 1850, and he put it in Kew Garden. But at least if you said Crystal Palace, it was the year before it was built, not 63 years before it was open.
Has anybody here been to Kew Gardens? If they have, could you give me like a mark out of 10 what you think Kew Gardens is like? I'm tempted to go, but then I think, I don't know, because if we went, it would be in the spring. And is it worth going in the spring?
Mary says she loves the mincing night.
He's quite nifty, isn't he, with those moves?
So,
I can't do those moves.
Being Kew Garden means that we're looking for A. And the first answer in was correct. And it was Ed Creative.
Oh, well done, Ed.
Followed by a second answer in from Sharon Paget, which was also A.
Well done, Sharon.
And then we have to jump one because Peggy went for B, but Ian Davis went A.
Oh, well done, Ian.
So there we go. It's Ed, Sharon and Ian. That's gold, silver and bronze. Yes, folks, it had to be Kew Garden because Crystal Palace and the Great Exhibition was the year after and Chelsea Flower Show was 63 years after. So if you knew your dates, which I didn't until I did my research, you'd have been able, by a process of elimination, to have come to the correct answer, which I'm sure is what Ed, Sharon and Peggy did.
Now, Phyllis was saying
Ian did, sorry.
it happened that way with kudzu in the US, grown to stop erosion, but it never stops growing. We call it mile a minute. We've got something called mile a minute plant, and it's a climber, and it has these like white fluffy flowers on it, lots of little tiny flowers. I don't know if that's the same thing, but talking about another plant is I was given a bloodgrass plant, and I thought, before I plant this, I'm going to check out, because I'm very weary now. Ever since my garden's got a few plants that I can't get rid of, I'm going to check out. And they were saying plant it in a pot, because if you plant it in the garden, it'll take over your whole garden, and that's from Japan as well. Call it Japanese bloodgrass. So Japan's got an awful lot of invasive things, haven't they?
Well, they're not invasive in Japan.
No, they.
That's the thing. When this chap went over there in 1850 and he found this plant, nobody was saying, "Oh, you don't want to touch that; it'll just take over everywhere," because they've got a different climate. They've also got different diseases and different insects that will eat them. Because I did hear a couple of years ago, I don't know if they went ahead with it, they were going to import the pest from Japan that kills the knotweed, so that it will kill the knotweed and solve the problem. My question is, what else
Something not quite right there.
will the pest from Japan, are we going to just be pouring petrol on the fire? Because that's the problem, you see. Things develop over a long period of time in a particular climate. Buddleia, that's the one. They got that, I think, was Buddleia from up in the Himalayan mountains?
I'm not sure, but that's another nuisance. Our neighbours have got that, and I spend hours every year pulling all the plants.
It'll
the
grow
seedlings
through
growing up.
steps.
Oh,
When
it's a
we go down
nuisance.
to Newport, we do a Budlier watch.
Yeah.
Because there's some wonderful shops. As I've shown, you can check out one of the Newport ones when I walk through the town, and you've got beautiful shop fronts. Not the actual where they display the stuff, but the buildings up above that haven't been altered for 100 and 150 years. But growing out of the brickwork, out of the trough ends, from behind the lead flashing on the roofs, Budlier everywhere. Because this thing is perfect for growing on cliffs. And therefore, when it gets into buildings, when it gets into cracks in steps, you end up with trees growing out of it. And it's on its way to being as big a pest. And what's that other one, that thing we had down in Bournemouth that came up through the tarmac?
Oh, stag. I don't think it's a maidenhair fern. It's stag's horn something. It's like a tree. And if the roots, they're fine, they'll just travel and travel and travel. As soon as they get any damage, like they hit a tiny little stone,
a tree up.
They send a tree up, and that'll come through paving stones, it'll come through tarmac. They're an absolute menace, and they were all coming through the tarmac in our house down there, and they were forever chopping the tops off. There was nothing you could do.
Well, even rhododendron.
Yep, they're a root,
Because
a weed.
I remember our eldest going on a trip with the guides over to Brownsea Island to try and destroy as much rhododendron as they humanly
They
could.
spent a week chopping down rhododendron
Because
on a small island, and it didn't touch it, really.
The island had become overtaken by rhododendron. So, beautiful plant. You can buy it in your local garden centre or nursery. But at the same time, if it gets a grip and gets out of control, if you don't keep an eye on it, it will take over. What was it they said? A weed is a plant in the wrong place.
Oh no, Lexi's got a staghorn. Is it coming up all around your garden, Lexi? The thing is, it was very chalky down where we were, so it was just constantly breaking the roots. Right then, so no, I'm sorry, I've lost who it was that said now, but no, this Mile a Minute you've got in the US has got red flowers, so that's not the one. Oh no, I'm sorry, Barley Tyler fan it was. It's purple flowers and an edible root, so that's not the one I know was Mile a Minute then. And somebody was saying, Beata was saying black currant plants were banned in the USA to protect the pine trees. No, I wouldn't have thought they must be the climate, because they're not terribly invasive over here.
What's that?
Raspberries are. Oh my garden. I brought a few raspberry canes up from my allotment to plant in the garden when I finished working over there, and now I'm forever just trying to keep them under control. They're coming through the chipping path, they're coming up in my vegetable beds, they're going right under the path and up the other side. They're a real pain. And I don't even get any raspberries because the birds get them. But just as they're ripening, I think, oh, tomorrow's the day. I wake up, get out there, and the birds have already eaten them.
Did you see Linda saying my Georgia granddaddy had a friend who went on a vacation for 2 weeks, returning to find his entire house covered in kudzu. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, that must be really worrying.
Horsetail, that's that horrible stuff.
Yeah, Joyce is saying about mare's tail, horsetail. Yeah,
yeah, Sue Smith saying horsetail, same
thing. If you
thing.
need an example, I could run down our garden now and bring you a bucket full up. Oh, it's everywhere. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Right.
And apparently you can use it to scrub your pans because it's got silica pieces in it.
And all these things would be pretty somewhere else.
Just not in my garden.
They're just rubbish in the garden. Yep, our raspberries are taking over our garden now, Meryl say it.
Yeah, they're really annoying.
Should we have some happy news?
Let's have some happy news.
We're halfway through the show, so time for some happy news.
Right, here we go. It's upside down. That's not much good, is it? Here we go. Can I get right through this happy news without laughing? Pet returns home after 12 years. An Englishman has been reunited with a family cat who's been lost for 12 years. Oh no, it's going to happen again, isn't it? Theo Will McKenna, then just 17 years old, was attending university near the family's home in Connors Quay, Wales, when their cat Artie got out and never came home. Theo remembers staying out for hours with a bag of treats but couldn't locate their beloved white and grey cat. This is sad, and I'm not laughing at the story, I just got the giggles. He'd visit once a week for months to look some more, but gradually lost hope of ever seeing Artie again. I reached a point where I thought that either, God forbid, something had happened.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Or someone else had
Very
taken
cruel,
him in, he said. I'm sorry.
You're cruel.
I'm sorry.
She's cruel.
Then I am. Then in 2024...
Do you want me to read it?
I'm going to get through it. I'm a big girl, I can get through this. In 2024, residents of a home in Connors Quay called a local vet after a grey and white cat appeared in their backyard and stayed put for 4 days straight. The cat, who turned out to be the missing Artie, was carrying a microchip registered to Theo's mouth.
That's not funny. There is nothing funny in this story, folks. Honest. It's my crazy wife. The cat, who turned out to be the missing Artie, was carrying a microchip registered to Theo's mother and a contact number for North Clwyd Animal Rescue. Now, it does sound like he was carrying it in a wallet or something. Yeah, I can see now. Caroline had images of him walking around with a microchip in a wallet and a phone number, who came to pick up Artie. But with the microchip registered to an old phone number, they took to Facebook to try and find the McKennas. One of Theo's friends... Read on?
I'll try.
Go on. You're on the last paragraph.
One of Theo's friends recognised Artie and sent the post to him. It took me a second to recognise him because he looked so bedraggled and skinny, Theo said. Adding, it didn't feel real. I thought there was no way it could be him. He added, he went missing when I was 17. I thought no cat could survive 12 years on the street. But while Artie's days on the street are behind him, new challenges remain, like getting used to Theo's other cat.
There we go.
I held it together for the last paragraph.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do that. Every time I get the happy news, which is usually starts off sad, I start laughing.
But I thought that we've done stories, happy news stories about people finding diamond rings and finding items. But I thought for a cat to turn up, and he wasn't in a good state. I read the entire story, and the vets had to treat the cat. They had to pull some of his teeth. They had to build him back up. He's on medication for life, and it's £65 a month for his meds because he was in a bad way. He'd obviously been living somewhere and hadn't had a very good time of it. But for 12 years, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And obviously somebody's saying there that they love their cats, and obviously Theo loved his cats because he had a cat now. He's a cat owner, you know. And some people are cat owners, some people are dog owners, and some people are goldfish owners because they don't want to walk it. But there we go. So
like you said, I could read the death notices in the newspaper. I think people could get a little bit upset if they gave me if I was in charge of reading out the deaths.
Caroline just said to me, because I just say, I don't know whatever I'd do if I was really ill on a morning of a service. And she said, well, you could always give me the notes, I'd read them. Could you imagine it? Can you imagine me trusting this lady in a creme for half an hour reading things that are sad?
I think I'd get thrown out and banned forever.
I think I'd lose my job. Okay, righty-o. What should we do? Find.
I'll show my leg. Are you all ready to see my leg?
It's a foot.
Your foot.
Something a foot and a bit of a leg.
Yeah. If you need a leg up with your writing, here is an inkwell with a leg. Now, the only thing I can come up with is perhaps this is an inkwell for a child. You see, it's really black inside, so it's had ink in.
I think it was a child sat holding it.
Yeah, so it was sort of, because if you look here, I'll show you there seems to be little funny colour bits where I think the hands were glued on or something like that.
And it may have been...
Oh, there's one there. I can't see it so far away. For some reason, the camera's in the wrong place today. There and there. So I think they were hands holding this with probably a really educated-looking child holding the inkwell for you.
With no socks on.
With no socks or shoes on.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah, so that's... Has anybody ever seen that? Have you seen one of those? Well, not that, obviously, because you've just seen it, I showed you. But one with the rest of the figure on there. I'd love to know what that looks like. I bet it was a beautiful thing. And this is... like ceramic stuff, this. It's not glass.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's got like that.
Yeah. It's the same stuff as the foot.
Thuddy sort of sound.
It's the same stuff as the foot is made of, isn't it? It's like porcelain.
Yes, porcelain. We call it porcelain.
Could be glass, I suppose. The leg looks a bit glassy, doesn't it?
Here we go. And I would say that is... yeah, that's going to be clay, I think.
There we go then.
Very fine porcelain. Oh, there we are. Somebody said, Phyllis said, Phil makes a mean sunflower should he lose his job at the Creme. This is true.
Indeed. I am the sunflower king.
Anybody who watched my craft video last night, because I can't do anything. It's really frustrating. The only thing I can do, I'm going to have to go into painting probably for Christmas in July because I don't want to miss that. But then I'm going to end up with a really, really messy thumb support on and look dreadful. I suppose it might brighten it up. It's a bit funereal, really, isn't it?
Yeah. We've got the sunflower here somewhere.
Yes, you brought it down. Ah, there it is.
Yeah, under the desk.
There we go. And show off your
One sunflower, folks.
making prowess.
There we go. I made this. Look at that. Sunflower from the front, sunflower from the side, sunflower from behind. With 3 leaves. Caroline said, oh, just do one, it'll be good enough. What's the problem, dear?
So, it's not boding well tonight. Stop it, everybody. Rachel said as a child we had a black hat. He went missing for a few days, came back limping and he had a broken leg.
Oh.
Finally, the splint was metal. And the birds showed him coming.
You're out of control. She's been on the happy juice
Okay,
again.
Rachel, put a laughy face on. She's not going to be upset by it. Sorry if you are, Rachel. I can imagine been like Captain Hook used to have the clock ticking in him, buddy. This would be like Peg.
Captain Hook. It was the
Captain Hook, wasn't it?
It was the crocodile.
The crocodile had the clock. That's right.
He swallowed the clock and you heard him
yes.
tick in. So Captain Hook heard him come in.
Sorry.
There we go.
I shall now want to be insensible again.
My find, or 2 finds, should I say, but I think they go well together. In fact, I think they started possibly together, because I think this may be the base of whatever this is the top of. And as I said, it'll serve as a frame, and if I was to take the bits off there and clean the bits up on there and put the 2 together, then I could put something on the back there, and you could have sort of something 3D in there on the back of that, see? So there we go. Amazing what you can do with bits of broken stuff.
Amazing. And West Country Mudlark said there's a picture of the inkwell online, and you're right, it's a baby holding the inkwell. Oh, that's brilliant, thanks.
Oh, excellent.
We'll see if I can find that later, unless you want to pop it over on our Facebook channel, then everybody can see it then. That would be brilliant.
That'd be great.
Pretty please.
Shall I do another question?
Yes, why not? If I can find the question thing.
Caroline found this vulcanized bottle stopper, and on the top of it she said, I can see the initials WS and we'll clean it up to have a better look at it on the live show. So before I give you a better look at it, let's see how good you are at telepathy, folks, because on the top of this it tells me that the WS are initials. And I want to know, what does the S stand for? Do you think it is A, W. Smith, B, W. Spencer, or C, W. Stevens?
Go!
What do you think? I know the answer because it's written on the top.
Oh, thank you, West Country Mudlarks. That's brilliant. And if you haven't checked out West Country Mudlarks videos, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, go and check them out because they do some great videos.
So it tells me that they're from Sowerby Bridge, and it tells me the name of the person who owns the company. It doesn't tell me their first name. It's W with a dot, and then it either reads Smith, which is A, Spencer, which is B, or Stevens, which is C. So I think for most of you, unless you're from that part of the world, then you may know the answer. But for most of you, it may be have a pop at it, take a guess, and let's see what's coming in. Lots and lots of answers.
While the answers are coming in, I'll just give a little shout out as well for Ribble Finds and Crafts. They do some lovely videos as well with a lot of ducks. If you like ducks, that's the one for you. And Lexi, of course, she's got her Lexi's channel with, I can't remember what it's called now, Lexi. I'm terrible with names. Lexi's Larks and Crafts, I think it's called.
Lexi's Larks and Crafts.
Right.
Lexi B at Lexi's Laughs and Crafts.
Oh yes, I can see you now.
Yeah, she's on
I can't think of anybody else at the moment who's got a channel. If you've got a channel and I've just forgotten that you know what I'm like, I just forget everything, then pop a row of smiley faces in the name of your channel in case there's anybody here. We're such a tight community. I think everybody knows everybody. We all watch all the videos and get involved.
Yeah.
But if you've got a channel and I haven't mentioned you, stick it in the description.
Yeah, not sure if they're in tonight, but of course we've been out and had some fun with the Kentish Mudlarks as well.
Yes, they've got a
great
channel. Kentish Mudlarks.
Excellent. And of course, our good friend Adam, who we keep an eye on, and
yes.
he's growing up.
Victorian Mudlark, he's doing so well.
He is doing brilliantly well, fair play.
And Tom, of course.
Okay then.
Tom Burley.
Tom Burley.
Forget Tom Burley.
Yes, the man who took us to find our very first pike bowl, and the rest, as they say, is history. Okay then, folks. Are we going Smith, Spencer, or Stevens? Well, the great reveal.
I got it wrong.
Don't know if you can see it there, but if you can, it's going to say Spencer.
And I picked that up, but I didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't see what it said.
W. Spencer. So we're looking for a B again, which means the first correct answer goes to Glenda Weiss gets gold.
Well done, Glenda.
Oh, and Beata Heinz gets silver.
Well done, Beata.
And Lexi B.
Well done, Lexi.
Went with a B. And she takes the bronze. So it's Glenda, Beata and Lexi. There we go.
Thank you, Ed, for reminding me. Yes, Ed Creative's got channels as well. I think he said he got 4. Let's check him in.
And you can also see quite a bit of Ed's art. If you go back through on the Facebook page, he's put up quite a few of his projects on there, which are excellent.
It's an excellent idea, Lexi. I don't know if you want to start to put it on there and say, you know, Phil and Caroline said to put this up, to add to this if you've got a channel, and if we keep them all there then, and if somebody's looking for something to watch, because sometimes you end up, YouTube unsubscribes you from certain channels after a while. I think I haven't heard from so-and-so. I go and look and YouTube's unsubscribed me. It's one of those little things it does. So people can go on and think, well, I haven't seen this one for a while. Go on and you'll find out exactly where they are then, because you'll get the link to their channel.
Shall we
dance?
Have some happy news without giggles, because I'll do it.
Okay. Just a second. There we go. Here we go.
Okay. Huge prehistoric birthday surprise. Jason Cooper is a fossil hunter. So when his 45th birthday rolled around and a friend asked him what he wanted, the answer was a simple one. Another extra special dinosaur fossil. The key word is another, because with a 100-acre home atop Colorado's Morrison Formation, Jason has dug up plenty of dino bones before. We looked around, my friend found some vertebrae. I said, oh my gosh, this is turning out to be a real great birthday, Jason recalled. I saw the spikes of a tail sticking out and a couple of big plates on its back. I could tell it was still curled up. Jason had discovered a 3/4 complete skeleton of an adult male Stegosaurus, standing 11.5 feet tall and stretching 27 foot from top of its head to the tip of its spiky tail.
That's big.
Taking out as much as there was from the sedimentary rock of the cliff face, Jason and his friends sealed the exposed fossils in protective jackets, hauled them away in a truck to the birthday boy's workshop. Once there, the non-academic professional did an exquisite job removing the millions of years of sediment and rock from the mineralized bones. Over the years, Jason has donated many fossils of different kinds to scientific institutions. But this one, and that's why it's in the news this week, because his birthday was 2 years ago, but now that it's all set, this one is destined for Sotheby's showrooms on the island of Manhattan, where it is predicted to earn $4 to $6 million when it goes up for auction.
Why do we never find some? I tell you, quick back up to where we were on this week's video. We'll collect all the bones together of the mysterious creature. We did have suggestion
to
for
Sotheby's.
names. I wonder how much we get for that at Sotheby's.
Yeah, now you're thinking.
Oh, we don't go on a big party then.
That's not a bad birthday gift find, is it?
Oh, imagine that.
I think it is the biggest and most complete Stegosaurus ever discovered.
Well, you can't put that in your backpack. You've got to get lorries and cranes, and I would imagine
did.
you've got to be so careful when you excavate it.
Well, they obviously knew what they were doing, because when, as I said, they packaged them in special things, put them on the lorry, took them back to his workshop, cleaned it all up, and they're going to stand to make 4 to 6 million.
You can see why, and I certainly don't say this is good at all, because money is no replacement for life. But you can see why these people, just after rockfall, will run out and check when they're saying don't go under the rock where the rockfall is because it's still unstable. People still go there. It's really dangerous, but people still go.
Glenda Weiss saying, oops, sorry, I've tapped that now. I forget.
Drive by Dinosaur Ridge and Morrison's
fairly often.
Oh,
So
right.
the area that we're talking about, they drive by but never discovered any.
Oh, right. Oh,
But
keep
they
looking, keep
know
looking.
that neck of the woods. Well, this guy lives on top of it, and he's got 100 acres of land. So of course that gives him the rights then to work it. You know, that's probably better than having a gold mine on your thing. If you can knock out 6 million with one dinosaur, that's not bad, is it?
Now, what would be ideal if they keep digging and find the rest of the family, wouldn't it? Oh. But not until after the sale, because that'll saturate the market
Ed,
then.
behave yourself.
What's Ed saying now?
I know there's loads of old bones. You'll get arrested if you dig them up.
Yes.
Now,
Behave.
here's another find we said that we would clean up. In the process, now this often happens, you pick up a bottle, and this bottle was full of gunk, and it still had some of the polish in it. If you remember, it was like a pinky brown goo in it. But when I washed it all out, some of the goo was holding the bottle together. So this is destined for the bin, because it's a brokey bottle now. It's sharp and broken, and the pieces were falling out as I was cleaning it. But the reason we like this bottle is because it says Rising Sun Metal Polish J.E. Sharp and Son. And as I said, that's the beauty with bottles like this from that era. Sometimes they can carry all the information you need to know what was in it, who made it, and what the company was called. And sometimes they even put the location, because very often you'll get Fletcher's, and then around the other side it says, what is it they put on the other side? It's Fletcher's. I've seen this so many times I should know.
Put you on the spot and forget.
Clean out my head. But then again, you also get ones like this one we picked up, which has nothing on it, but is a far more rigid bottle than that one. The way the ribs are on the side here, that is a one solid bottle. And just to prove it, it's looking good. What, 100 years on? But of course, we also have the Snap Tops. Yeah. Actually, you've got a teeny weeny snappy toppy bottle, haven't you?
I have. It's a teeny weeny.
We did question, is it going to be the finest?
Daddy Bear.
Yeah.
And Mummy Bear and Baby Bear.
Yeah, and he's a little tiny one.
It's tiny, isn't it? Little cute one. If you could see it, if I put my hand there, it still doesn't help. I put my cardigan there, that's darker. You see how little that is?
I just love how badly they're made. Look at the bottom of that. There's a complete slant in the bottom of that, because they would, and there's a bend to the top of it. And this one here, as I was cleaning it, that nick out of the side, that's been in it from the day it was made. But it didn't matter, because it still did the job. It still held the stuff. And this bottle, I don't know if you could tell on there, but it's flat on two sides and rounded on the others. I don't know if that was just intentional or the way the mould was. And also so many bubbles. But that big ding there, that was in the mould. That was something in the mould caused that, because it's not a chip. You can tell it's been rounded as it was made.
Who was it? Karen? The answer to the vulcanised bottle was Spencer. Right. Oh, Lexi said you're going to decoupage bays onto those bottles. I think the little one would be so small. Karen was counting stitches on her knitting. Yeah, if you've got a long row. Oh, it's the number of times I'd keep counting 98, 99, 100, 100. Was that 98 or 100? Oh no, then I'm going to go right the way back to the beginning. Right, I was going to say something and then I forgot. That's right. Do you know it's 10 to 10 already? The show's
Is
flying
it?
by
Is
tonight.
it? Well, should we have another
We
question?
really
then?
should have another question.
Right. Do you have
Do I have
the pipe bowl that you found?
the pipe bowl?
Because this question is related to this find. Because Caroline has a pipe bowl and it has a word on it, doesn't it, dear?
It does.
I'll
If
show
I can
everyone.
find it, I think it's on that side, isn't it?
It
And let's have
is.
a look which way up. Always helps to get the right way up. There.
There we go.
Dublin.
Dublin.
Oh, sorry, I said that over the microphone. I hope I didn't deafen you all.
The Dublin pipe is possibly far more than a reminder of home for an Irish worker who had travelled to find work. As very often the decoration on clay pipes were representative of an affiliation, such as the Royal Antediluvian Order of the Buffaloes,
Well,
RAOB, which we have numerous times found on pipes with the buffalo horns, or as well as affiliation to organisations, it can be with regards to a political cause, such as the Irish Free State, whose aim was to secure independence for Ireland and a parliament in Dublin. So putting the name Dublin on there doesn't necessarily mean it was made there, but it could have been showing affiliation with that cause back at the time. The Irish Parliament was dissolved in 1800 with the formation of the United Kingdom, but was restored in 1922. But what I want to know is, in what year did the first Irish Parliament, for which there is a definite record, actually meet? What is the oldest recorded meeting of a parliament in Ireland? Was it in A, 1264, B, 1464, or C, 1664?
Go! And I haven't got a clue. Ian Davis saying, I found a Dublin pipe digging this week. Well done, there we go.
There we go.
Very
Excellent.
popular pipe for this week. We should ought to have a chart, like they have the pop chart. We can say, right, everybody let us know what pipe bowls you dug up this week, and we can see featuring number 1 this week is the Dublin pipe.
Another thing I discovered
Yes.
is there is a pipe shape called the Dublin pipe,
Oh.
which is very similar to that. It is very similar to the shape of that pipe, and that's the Dublin pipe. You've got all sorts. You've got a fleur pipe, which is all flowery.
Fleur.
You've got all sorts of pipes. You've got a blowfish pipe, which is sort of round one.
Shaped like a blowfish, I suppose.
It is, but they've got all sorts
Are the
of shapes.
blowfish the ones that are poisonous? I think they are.
Pufferfish, isn't it?
Pufferfish.
And
Yes, something to do with blowing or puffing.
it definitely is. But yeah, quite a lot of pipes out there, all different shapes and sizes. But interestingly enough, there is a pipe style called the Dublin. There is obviously the place called Dublin, but there's also the link, because you've got to think, most of these pipes are about 100 years old. And the Parliament was restored in 1922. So the battle for a Parliament in Dublin was really raging, and it was a real massive political movement by the First World War. So that age of pipe with Dublin on it could well be representative of a person's support for the wish to have a parliament in their own country. So when was the first recorded meeting of a parliament of sorts in Ireland? We're going to find out, because if I go back to the top,
Well, I'm going for B, which is smack bang in the middle, because I really don't have a clue.
well, there we go. It's A. It's 1264. 1264. Now, it wasn't an elected parliament representative. It was very much, back in those days, a gathering of the landowners forming a parliament in order to make the rules and the laws. But there is a recorded meeting of an Irish Parliament in 1264. So they'd been an independent nation with their own rules and regulations for an awful long time. Then they signed up with the unity, Then they decided to go their own way, and now it's all sorted. So that's what happened. So if it's 1264, we're looking for A, and top of the tree, and I could have nearly missed him there because he got in so quick. He was in the middle of conversations. It was Mike Sage.
Well done, Mike.
Well done, Mike. You got A. Rachel Bailey. She's got A.
Well done, Rachel.
And Lexi B's breaking ranks. She hasn't put a B, she's put an A.
Ooh, well done, Lexi.
So, Mike Sage, Rachel Bailey, and Lexi B,
Well
you've
done.
all got podium positions. And seeing Mike's name there reminds me, because I know Mike's been on a journey over to Europe recently, and of course we've had massive celebrations going on both sides of the channel with regards to D-Day and everything else. But I saw a piece of news. It came through today, so it was too late for me to put it. I wrote this afternoon. A piece of news came up on my news feed this later. A couple have got married in a town in Normandy that this man was over in the celebrations, and it's not the mayor agreed to do their wedding, although he said it can't be legally binding, it's ceremonial, because he can't marry people who are not from his town.
All right.
But because he was part of the Liberation Force, they did the wedding, and he is 100 and his fiancée was 96.
All right.
And they'd come over. He was honoured at the celebrations the day before, and today they got married at 100 years of
There
age.
you go.
And I thought, if I'd got that sooner, I'd have put it in as happy
That'd
news.
been fun.
So I thought I'd share that bit of happy news as well. 196 years of age, and they got married, but they got married in the town hall of one of the first towns to be liberated after the push on D-Day. So there we go.
And a
That's
little
good
bit of an
news.
update on the pipe charts for this week. Is number one is undeniably the Dublin pipe, but Talon has found one with wheat sheaf on. So
Ooh.
number two, wheat sheaf pipes.
Yeah, they are fun to find. They certainly are. Fun to find. Right then, where are we to? I tell you what, I've got another question here that's really interesting. So I'm going to sneak this one in before the big question.
Go on then, it'll have to be quick.
Because Caroline found a broken mug this week. And on the broken mug, there was like a little Chinese character with a hat on in blue. And then there was, you need to switch it on. I did plug you in, but I didn't switch. I brought the lead down. I plugged Caroline's lead in, but I didn't switch it on. On there was the alphabet. So have a go at this, folks. Extra bonus question tonight. Today, we have 26 letters in our alphabet. But that's only been the case since 1835. Before that, how many letters were in the alphabet? Was it A, 27, B, 28, or C, 29?
Go.
What do you think? There were more than 26 letters. And they took some out. So do you think there was 27 letters in 1835? Or do you think it was 28 or 29?
I was right.
You were right.
I was right.
What have we got? Let's have a look.
I was right. Please can we have this in
answers
writing?
coming
I was right.
Answers are
Doesn't
coming
happen,
in.
you
Oh,
know.
the answers are flowing in now.
Oh, here
Let's
we
have a
go,
look.
here we go.
Let's have a look. Oh, Dan Fetters is going 29. Ed's going 28. Rachel's going 27. Beata's going 29. Oh, they're all over the place. But I can tell you, folks, the correct answer is there were 27.
I got it right.
There was 27. So, Rachel Bailey, you've got a bonus gold.
Well done, Rachel.
And then Laura Sully's Creations.
Well done, Laura.
Followed by Bonnie Tyler Fan 34.
Well done, Bonnie Tyler fan.
And I will mention Colin Scott because came a close fourth.
Oh, well done, Carl.
And
Nearly
due
there.
to the fact it's the least popular answer on the board, I think, yep, Colin, you were the only one as well. So 4 was all it was. 4 correct answers.
Well done.
And do you know what they took out of the alphabet?
Go on and tell us what they took out.
What do you think they took out? We still use it. It's on that keyboard. I think. Yes. If you press top line and number 7, you get the ampersand. And that was part of the alphabet. It came after Z. It was included in the
I have to
alphabet.
confess, I knew there was one, but I couldn't remember what it was.
It was officially in the ampersand sign, that sort of
Curly and.
the curly and was a part of the alphabet until 1835 when it was removed after the Z and we just went A to Z. There we go. So now we'd better have the logo because we've got to ask the question.
Here we go. Brace yourselves, everyone. No, don't. It won't play.
Okay, folks, here we go. It's time for us to have the most contentious question of the night. How many times did this little character, Mr. Mankey, appear in this week's video? Was it 3, 4, or 5?
Go.
Or you can say A for 3, B for 4, or C for 5.
Yes, but
3, 4, or 5.
Will do.
What are you thinking? 3, 4, or 5? How many times did you see Mr. Mankey in this week's video?
Well, Faraway Portal's in with 2. Mike Sage is in with 2. And now we got numbers coming up. But Phil did miss something until the last minute. So it wasn't easy to see. So we got lots of 3s, a 1, a 4, a couple of 3s, an A. Right, Ribble, Fines and Crafts are in. They're in at 5 times. 18 seconds in Phil's shirt. 2 minutes at the top of the hole with Phil. 10:34 in Phil's pocket at the top of the hill. 10:40 behind Phil in the trees. And 16:07 in the tree behind Phil.
Okay then, folks. We got all the way down to Talon before we got a 5.
Yeah.
And straight after Talon was Ribble, Fines and Crafts, who said 5. And last answer in was West Country Mudlarks, who said 5.
So we've actually got 3 right answers,
have.
but there are only 3.
Now, I'm not going to say that West Country Mudlarks were in any way influenced by Ribble, Fines and Crafts, even though they had previously said 2 and 4, and then decided to go with 5. But it doesn't matter. All that matters is you're on there, and you've got a podium. So, Talon, you're on gold. Steve, Ribble, Fines and Craft, you are on silver. And West Country Mudlarks, you're on that bold bronze position.
Well done to the 3 of you. Excellent.
Phyllis has snuck in with a 5 just in case there was any
Why
spare
not?
places.
You can have a silver guilt. Why not? We throw medal. Everybody have a medal. Everybody just shout 5. There you go. You've all got a medal.
Up until an hour before, 2 hours for the show, I thought there were 3. So, folks, if you missed him, don't panic. I counted 3 and I'd edited the video. And when I'd done a review check, I found the others. The first one was Sneaky because he was in my shirt, but he was only there for a second. Then he was in the hole as we scanned around. But then a Sneaky one again, when I came to the top of the hole and Caroline spoke up to me, he was in my shirt. Again. And then when I came down, he was stood behind me as I showed my finds.
Phil has far too much fun
and
to
then
do this, you know.
at the end, he was up in the tree again. So it is 5. We're all done. We've overrun by 4 minutes, but it's been fun. 51 people still in the room at the end of the show. And some of you have got friends and family with you, so that's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you ever so much for joining us. It's been great fun having you all around to our place for our happy hour. And we'll wait a minute. We won't be here next week.
Oh, no. There will be a video out on Friday, but we're not going to be at home on Saturday, so we won't be able to do a live show, folks, okay? But we will get a video out. I will edit the video and get it out. But we got family commitments, so we can't be here on Saturday.
No, so sorry about that.
So we'll see you 2 weeks tonight, but we will be on for the premiere.
Yes.
Even though we're not here, we'll be on the premiere, but we can't broadcast the show. So, just as well you remember, dear.
It is, yes. So, we'll see you all next time, but until then, don't forget.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll go in a minute. I can't find me thingy.